Hello, everybody! One of the frustrating things about researching the educational uses of AI is the redundancy. It seems like every month we see a dozen new articles about how to enrich your writing classes with exciting AI activities, but these articles all tend to say the same things, at least in liberal arts and humanities contexts. To summarize, they argue that students might use AI for brainstorming, structuring, researching, and revising their essays. And it's not like these are bad ideas, or that at this point they're not very original. It's that each of these poses significant problems that are too often skimmed over, or unacknowledged by academics eager to showcase their AI savviness. Now, researching with AI raises a whole host of issues and problems, so we'll save this for another video. We'll focus today on these three uses. But rather than just blindly endorse them, the main point I want to stress is to be critical of how we use AI in these capacities. As my friend Bob Dylan tells us, you give something up for everything you gain. And this applies to the use of AI in academic writing. Taking shortcuts can lead to dangerous places if you're not careful, but obviously, shortcuts save you time, giving you a chance to focus on other valuable aspects of your writerly journey. So in this video, we'll explore some potential benefits and demerits of using programs like ChatGPT for common scholarly writing activities. And in doing so, I'll suggest a few ways of using AI to maximize your gains and minimize your losses. But of course, before trying any of these AI activities, always check with your instructor to see what kind of AI use is allowable in your course. Doing anything mentioned in this video could be considered misconduct based on the instructor, program, school, etc., many of whom may still have zero-use policies on AI. And being charged with misconduct brings serious penalties from course failure to suspension, so tread carefully and talk to your professor when in doubt. Okay, that clear, let's go. Now, as I'm sure you know, brainstorming is the process of generating ideas or ways to approach an assignment. And it works best at the early stages of a new project, helping you come up with a range of ideas and maybe even some possible ways of structuring or approaching those ideas in your assignment. One common way to brainstorm is called clustering. You start with a basic prompt, and without second guessing yourself, you just jot down any ideas you come up with based on that prompt. Once you do this, then you can go back and start arranging those ideas in various patterns, trying to establish some basic connections. In my case, to keep it simple, I'm just going to arrange my points into positive and negative. A similar exercise is called free writing, and it involves giving yourself 5 to 10 minutes to write down any ideas on the subject without regard for style, grammar, logic, or anything formulaic. The only goal is to get as many words on the page in the time that you set, and that you stay relatively focused on the subject at hand. Now, brainstorming is good because it encourages creativity. It helps you approach the assignment in almost a subconscious way without the filters of judgment that could limit you from thinking outside the box. It also fosters critical thinking. Once you have some initial ideas, you have to think about how to connect and order them in a logical way. Therefore, it enhances your decision-making skills. So the problem with using AI to brainstorm is that you're outsourcing the two most important skills that make you a good writer. And not only do you miss a chance to hone those skills, but you're also giving up your agency. You're denying your own voice at this most creative stage of the writing process, when you have the chance to do something truly original. If you do that, you sacrifice your personal investment in the paper. Of course, you also risk the AI generating bland or generic ideas that could get your paper up to maybe at best a B range. It's not going to produce great student work, and importantly, it's not going to be your work. So as best practice, my suggestion is you use AI as a brainstorming partner. Take your free write or your idea cluster and have the program brainstorm with you. Here, I'm going to ask it to comment on my original ideas and see if it has any other good ideas I may have missed. And I'm not just going to stop there. I'm going to continue the dialogue with GPT and ask it to clarify or expand on, maybe even contradict some of its own suggestions. So, why do this at all? Why not just brainstorm by yourself? Well, studies do suggest that group brainstorming is often more productive than solo brainstorming. So, my goal here is to benefit from another perspective while also ensuring I'm not just outsourcing my creativity and critical thinking in the brainstorming process. Now, once you've settled on some good ideas from your brainstorming activities, the next step is to think about how to structure those ideas in a way appropriate to your paper. We all know about the classic 5 paragraph essay format. And while you may add a counter, rebuttal, or additional contextual or argumentative paragraphs, this is the basic structure on which most university essays are built. Now, you could just have GPT take your ideas and come up with its own way of structuring them. Or worse, you could give GPT the prompt and ask for a structure without any brainstorming on your part, but you miss out on the benefits of working on the structure yourself. Structuring an essay heightens your analytical skills. When you analyze, you're investigating a topic in serious detail, crafting an argument based on your findings. Structuring also helps you organize those findings in clear and logical ways to develop your thesis. It also builds time management skills, because when you have a sense of your essay structure, it's easier for you to break down the writing process into chunks of time, focusing on, say, one supporting paragraph per day or per few hours. Learning to structure your homework will make you more productive in the long run. So, as a best practice, my suggestion is to use AI to give you some directed feedback on your essay structure. Come up with your own essay outline first, and then have GPT evaluate it. But, and this is the important part, evaluate it according to the essay prompt and rubric, which you can upload directly into the program. Don't just ask it for any old evaluation because every assignment is different. Getting this structural feedback may be useful before you go deeper into the writing process. It can help you identify any blind spots. Now, this doesn't mean GPT will always give you amazing or even appropriate advice. That's where your critical thinking comes into play. As a professor, I like this activity because it gets students more engaged with the assignment rubric, helping them develop clearer expectations about how to succeed on the assignment. And this will help with our final point for today, revising. Revising early drafts of papers is another way to develop all of the skills we've mentioned today: analysis, time management, creativity, and critical thinking. It also helps us cultivate some other skills. Revising helps ensure our papers are coherent and have a good focus and flow. We revise at different stages of writing, from the outline to the final polished draft. And at earlier stages, we might be more focused on making sure our arguments are clear and well supported, that the paragraphs have a clear sense of unity, they don't overlap with other paragraphs. At later stages, we're more focused on style and grammar, making sure our wording is concise, ensuring our points flow smoothly with nice transitions and a clear narrative structure. It's this attention to detail that promotes metacognition, the act of thinking critically, not just about the essay, but about the essay writing process, forcing us to be more objective in evaluating the quality of our own work. Now, the simplest thing to do is put your essay draft into GPT and ask it to fix all of your grammar and style errors, but then you're short-circuiting the process of metacognition, which is a crucial skill. Your future employers may not care what grade you received on the second paper in your first year writing class, but they will be looking for evidence of intelligence and critical thinking, which can't simply be outsourced no matter how ingrained AI becomes in our culture. So, my best practice here is using AI to help you identify style issues in your paper. What I'm 100% not going to do is ask an AI, whether it's Grammarly or Apple's writing tools, to rewrite any part of my essay to fix style mistakes. Instead, I'm going to use GPT as a learning tool and have it identify the kinds of mistakes I'm prone to making, identifying, not fixing the mistakes. I want to come away with a better understanding of my current stylistic limitations and how I can overcome them. Now, these are just a few suggestions from one writing professor caught off guard in the AI revolution. In my experience, students are often ahead of the game in coming up with creative ways of using generative AI in their coursework, in good and bad ways. So if you have a good and ethical way of using AI that can aid rather than supplant your learning, share it with your professor. In AI studies, we need to learn from each other as much as we do from the algorithms. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.